Hello everybody. I think we're live. Looks like everything is going well. I've got audio. Hopefully it's working in a way that you guys can actually hear. It looks like it's working. So yeah, we're going to be doing the branches and the bubbles. Don't know if we'll finish that. I kind of suspect we won't, and then next week we'll be doing final touch-ups on everything and touch-up texture titanium white, and then we'll start our next collage after that. So let's see. Good. Joseph says audio is live, video is live. Are you recording? I'm going to ask you that. I know I don't need to. Okay. So here we go. I also today, just in case, and Gibson ends up being cute because I had the extra camera I'm not using. Look what I put together. So, you know, I can pull up. I'm just excited. So I'm going to show you early, even though he's not really doing anything extra fancy. I have a hound cam. Anyway, we'll pull that up if he's being extra cute. Right now, he's just laying there. Let's see. Okay. Randy says, oh, I love the colors of this piece. Thank you. Me too. And it works really well with the last collage we did. I'm kind of keeping with those same almost pastel feels. So these are getting hung together for sure. George Pencil Art said, it's a miracle I'm actually on time today. Yay. Okay. Yeah. I need to pay attention. Nick always reminds us of this, and I need to actually announce this. If you are looking for straight colored pencil tutorials or just straight whatever medium tutorials, this isn't going to be the video for you. You're going to want to check out my Patreon channel or Patreon page, whatever. Patreon.com/Lachri. Those are going to be your straight tutorials, not me rambling, showing you photos or videos of my dog being adorable or plants or whatever else randomness that we will be talking about tonight or today. Again, patreon.com for as little as $4 a month. You get all of my longer tutorials. They are generally 1 to 2 hours long. Once a week, you get a new one unless something weird happens, like crazy Texas storm, or the next week I gardened. Or no, I still had a video that week though, so that wasn't true. I was just late. But anyway, so this video, or the point of these live streams, is that I get to chat with you guys. If you have emailed me, you know I don't answer people. There's too many. I can't. It's overwhelming. It sucks. I'm sorry for that, but that's what I get to do in these videos is hang out, chat with you, answer questions, whatever you guys need there. So yay. So there we go. I love the hound cam. Yay. Adriana said Gibson looks adorable. Yeah. His cuteness keeps him out of trouble. Let me tell you. Him and Bad Cow. Let's see. Condre said, hello Lisa, I doubt which surface do you recommend for a more soft vellum colored pencils? Greeting from Mexico. Which surface for a more soft or vellum colored pencils? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I can tell you the papers that I like today I'm working on the Canson Mi-Teintes, has a little bit more tooth to it, so it doesn't blend as smooth as what you would get with vellum. I would say hot press watercolor paper, typically my favorite for in most cases with colored pencil for what it sounds like you're looking for, I would think. And Arches is my favorite. Delila said, I love this picture. I actually tried this. Nice. I want to see it. Nick Harris frogs. Yes, they are going crazy today. It is feeding day, so they get fed. Now that they're adults, they get fed every other day, the dart frogs, so they know that is coming. They always have food in there. They get a fresh batch every other day. Anyway, Joseph says, but wait, there's more merch too. Yes, we have merch. We have our zombie snail, Words Are Hard merch, and what else do we have? We've got a few things over there. Check that out. T-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of fun stuff. So yay, I need to make some new ones. You guys have had some good ideas. I guess we need the Quadonkadonk shirt. That was definitely one. Alana said the video yesterday with your new frogs and plants was so cute and informative. I know a lot about plants, but still learned a few things. Oh, nice. I was honestly hesitant. I could sit here and sharpen pencils while I'm getting ready, huh? I was kind of hesitant to put that video up because I'm like, this is boring. No one's going to want to watch this, so I was kind of surprised anyone was interested in it. As I was editing it, I was like, wow, my life is so boring. I mean, I enjoy it, but yeah, so I'm glad that some of you guys like that one. Hi, Bob. Sergio said, I'm a tiny bit disappointed in your last video. No cameo from the chicken room. They were sleeping. So the chickens right now, because my husband works nights, they don't wake up until about 3 p.m. and then they're up until after midnight. So, I mean, they still get their full day, but it's later and they were not awake when I was editing. And if I went in there and woke them up, they would have woken him up. So yeah, they did not get to be in this video. So that is why we did not have the chicken room, but somebody had requested wanting the brown pencil. They wanted a like full home tour, full house tour. So we'll have to do that with the chicken room. Maybe I'll use that as an excuse to make that room look nicer. The chickens like it well enough. It's just like, it's my husband's computer room and he has just never like, he doesn't enjoy decorating things the way I do. So it's like, here's a white or, well, light gray, same color as the wall, that wall behind me, not the teal part. And the chicken cages, like it's all made to make the chickens happy and his computer desk, but it's not like visually all that appealing. So yeah, maybe I'll use that as an excuse to decorate. Yeah, the frogs are going crazy today, Brandy. Let's see. No, these frogs, so the frogs that you're hearing, these are the dart frogs. The dart frogs are awake during the day. The red-eyed tree frogs, those guys are, where are my brown pencils? Did I have them out already? I might have had them out already. The red-eyed tree frogs are the nocturnal ones. Am I fond of chocolate? I am. I actually have chocolate raspberry coffee today. Let's see. Lily says, hello from London. You are so talented. Thank you. I'm just starting to learn colored pencil. What is the best, paper, vellum, or hot pressed arches? I would hands down go with vellum, or hot pressed arches. I don't like vellum though. So you've got to keep that in mind. Some artists do amazing work and they love vellum. For me, the way that I layer, vellum will not give me enough layers. I cannot get the color saturation to work the way I want it to, the way that I work. So I don't like vellum. Like Bristol vellum, it's just not, I'm not a fan of it. So the hot press watercolor paper, hands down for me. Arya said, new subscriber, I have skimmed through your content. You're such a star. How is it to be a female artist? Thank you. I imagine it's not too different from being a male artist. I don't know what, I mean, I'm not sure. I spend a bit more time putting makeup on than my male counterparts, I'm imagining. I don't think Jason Morgan spends as much time as I do on makeup. I think that's about it as far as the difference goes. But I mean, being just an artist in general, it is, where are my brown? Like seriously, I've lost all my brown. Okay, well, that's kind of weird. Did I just not put stuff away? I just didn't put stuff away right. There it is. Found them. But I don't think there's too big of a difference. I would say as far as YouTube goes, female, like women tend to get a little bit more comments about their physical appearance than men do, from the men that I've talked to. So that would be the only difference there, but that's coming from the YouTube side. So that's going to, you know, bit difference. I don't have a sharpener. How do I not have a sharpener over here? But as far as just in general, being an artist is, I think it's the best job in the world. I absolutely love it. I remember I used to work at animal hospitals, and there were a few times where they would have me, while I was on the clock, make signs for them. And it was like the highlight of my job there is making, like getting to do anything that I was like artsy, drawing out lettering and stuff. I loved it. So I'm glad I get to do that all the time now. I did not like working at the animal hospital. Clients are rude. They do not want to pay their bills, and my job was to tell them what their bill was, and they did not like that, or me for telling them those numbers. Apparently it was somehow my fault, but whatever, you know, not theirs for not having vaccinated the dog to prevent the parvo in the first place. It's a whole other conversation. Let's see. Sergio said, how is Quidonkadone going to be spelled in the merch? I don't know. How have I been spelling it? Wait, hold on. Maybe you guys should correct me, but I think I've been doing... I think it would be Q-U-I-D-O-N-K-A-D-O-N-K. So it's like more phonetic. That's how I'm saying it. So I think that's what it would be. Maybe not, though. Maybe we should have some I's in there so it's closer to the original. I'll have to play with that. Shelly said, hi, Lisa, and everyone loved your video of the plants and your new frogs. Thank you. That is really good to hear, because gosh, I normally finish editing those videos and getting ready to have them uploaded by 3. I was like 2 extra hours yesterday, but I had so many boxes to go through. Yesterday was just a full day. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that people liked it though. Maybe Quidonkadonk, the frog on the Quidonkadonk merch. That's not a terrible idea. I like it. Yes, I always have singing frogs. Well, right now, the red-eyed tree frogs are not nearly as noisy as my dart frogs. They are, I did get the purple one. He is a male, so he will bark. But it's more, at least when I had my white tree frogs years ago, he would just kind of, he'd go through phases where he barked, but it wasn't like nonstop like what the dart frogs tend to do. So, it just here and there. Enough to scare you when you're off in your own little world asleep or whatever, and a frog starts going at it. You missed that. Hold on. Thank you, Kais Kimura. I want to help support your shopping habit. Oh my god, I love you. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the super chat. That is awesome. Yeah, you just bought me a new plant. Thank you. My shopping habit for plants is strong. Let's see. Thank you so much. Let's see. Okay, the first colored pencil and paint for proper grown-up artwork. Like your confidence in your work. Gwen from the UK. Thanks. First colored pencils and paint. Well, you can go with the, let's see. I'm using right now, this is my Faber-Castell Polychromos, is amazing. What else do we have? We've got the Caran d'Ache Luminance are amazing. My Derwent Lightfast are one of my favorites. You've got a few choices there. Those are going to be my top three. I think any of those three you're going to be very, very happy with. Being that you're in the UK, I would imagine the Derwent Lightfast would probably be, I would guess, one of the better priced pencils for you. I'm not sure, and they're amazing. As far as paint goes, now I'm a little bit weird when it comes to paint. I actually like paint that is often considered a student grade. It is the Liquitex for acrylics, Liquitex Basics. And I still use the light fast colors, but just the way the pigment is, they don't dry. Oh, it's raining. They don't dry as fast as like the Liquitex soft body and Liquitex heavy body. They dry really, really fast, and it's already a problem with acrylics. Like, I don't like their dry time. It's too much. Liquitex Basics stay wet longer. They're thinner, so they work better when I'm glazing. They're just a good, like, I like those paints. For oil paints, again, you want to stick with something that's more light fast. And I use cheap oils. I use mostly Winsor & Newton Winton or Grumbacher are kind of my normal go-to, just because they're convenient to get and they're inexpensive. They work. There are better oils out there, though, I will say that. So they're just really expensive. So hopefully that helped. Let's see. Gavin said, gorgeous colors on this piece. What type of pencils are you using for this one? I'm using a combination of everything I just mentioned. Derwent Lightfast, Prismacolor, or no Prismacolor. I don't know why that just came out of my mouth. The Derwent Lightfast, Faber-Castell Polychromos, that's what I meant there, and Caran d'Ache Luminance. Helen said, hi, Al, sitting in the car waiting for my son at the train station. Well, I'm glad we could entertain you. Clark said, Fine Art said, my son Conyer just heard the frogs and started chattering like crazy. That's awesome. Hi, Alicia. Let's see. Yes, all the art supplies I'm using should be, if I did my job right, listed in the video description. Delila said, Jason does not paint his nails? I don't think so. I don't know, unless he started a new thing. He didn't used to anyway. Jason is Jason Morgan. He's in the UK or in Wales. He does primarily pastel work and oil painting are his main two mediums. He's a wildlife artist. So if you use those mediums, well, check him out anyway. But he's one of my friends here on YouTube. So that was who I was comparing to because I actually talked to him. Yay, coffee. Let's see. Bob said, I have a question. Have you ever had a nightmare experience where you have accidentally ruined a good piece of art you really loved? Have you ever spilled a drink over a piece? I did spill Pepsi because it fell on a painting that was sitting against a wall, but it was luckily varnished and it was fine. This was years ago when I used to drink Pepsi a lot. Pepsi's better than Coke in case anyone wondered. But just going to start some wars there. It's sweet. Like, it just tastes better. But anyway, let's see. But that was okay because it was varnished, so there was no damage there. But while I was working on a piece, no, I don't think I've ruined anything while working on it, but I had a painting, and I still have it, and I can repair it enough that I can hang it if it doesn't really go with my decor right now. But it's a violin, there's like a bomb going off in the background. It's just kind of a combination of war with renewal in the foreground, kind of the idea of hope and change. Anyway, that painting fell. I was moving stuff around at the old apartment. I moved one shelf, it knocked something else, and so it caused this chain reaction. I ended up with a hole in that canvas. So yeah, I've had that happen and it sucks. But I mean, I can kind of tape it. Like you can repair it enough that you wouldn't really, the average person that walked by wouldn't know it was there. I can't sell it now. That's out. Let's see. Do I have any colored pencils that I hate that literally makes you want to throw them away? Yes, Prismacolor. That I almost gave up on colored pencil because of Prismacolor, because the breaking, the nonstop, like that's not something, and people will say, oh, you just have to do this and you can put them in the oven to heat them up. And I know I've done videos telling you how to do that. I do not want to jump through hoops to make my art supplies work. I want them to do what they're supposed to do. And so I had gotten to a point where I just didn't want to even work in colored pencil anymore. I was so sick of nonstop breakage and just fighting with them. Like, I shouldn't have to fight with my art materials to get them to do what they're supposed to do. So yeah, I stopped doing many. Like, if you go back to my old videos, I did not have very many colored pencil pieces because I was so sick of that. And all I knew was Prismacolor at the time. Then Alan Woollett, this is how I got started with polychromos. Alan Woollett posted in an art group. He's an amazing colored pencil artist. He does bird art. And he posted this flamingo that was phenomenal. Like, okay, that's what I want my work to look like. So what are you using? So I contacted him. He told me the paper, Fabriano Artistico, which was the old stuff, better than what, I don't like it as much now. And they changed the formula a little bit. And polychromos. So that's where I started. And I got those. And it was like, oh, I love colored pencil again. They don't break nonstop. Like, what? You mean I can draw and not burn through an entire pencil because it's broken all the way up because it's made like crap? Good job, Prisma. So yeah, Prisma would be my pencil that that's a big, fluffy freaking nope for me. And it's sad because, I mean, I get where artists like them. And so if you have Prismacolor, I don't want to make you feel like you can't do good work with it. You absolutely can. There's some amazing, amazing work done with Prismacolor. The problem for me was I don't want to fight with it. And they're not all light fast, so that's going to be an issue too. But I am not fighting with my art supplies. Like, I have limited time to get work done. I don't want to spend that time fighting with something that is not doing its job. Gonna fire that pencil. Like, if it was an employee who couldn't do their job, I'd fire them. Why am I continuing to fight with a pencil? So yeah, Prismacolor is my answer. Let's see. Yeah, I think that might be better, Joseph, the Quidonkydonk with an I, because of I can't say I can't. There's more I's in there, so to make it closer to the original spelling, probably. Let's see. Heather said, I loved the video yesterday. It's my studio assistant's birthdays. Oh, happy birthday to them. Let's see. Bark, yeah, I mean, you can call it bark. You can call it, some people will call it like the dirt frogs sound more like chirping than barking. When tree frogs bark, it sounds kind of like a dog that smoked most of its life. But yes, they do have a bark more. It's not the constant chatter that sounds like a cricket like these guys do. So yeah. Let's see. Kathleen Wildlife Art said, so excited. I'm adopting a bat. They're so adorable. Thank you for sharing yours and the link to the adoptions. Oh, that's awesome. Which one are you getting? If you're not sure, if you go to Sewrumba, SEWRUMBA on Facebook, they're these, I mean, just go and look at her page. She just released some new ones for St. Patrick's Day. Oh, they're cute. So anyway, if you're not sure what we're talking about, go check them out. But what colors did you get? I hope you post it. We should post those somewhere, maybe in the group. I don't know. They're so freaking adorable. I want to get the watermelon one, and she made a Harry Potter one, and I was tempted to contact her about it, but it was like more tans, which doesn't really go with any of my stuff. So yeah, I need to get a buddy for mine. They're not real life bats, if anyone's thinking we're like housing bats. They're cute and way easier to take care of. Let's see. Scrolling down, let's see. Starving Artist Collective said, loved Wade's naughty face in yesterday's video. Was he the beanie culprit? Probably. He's more likely to steal. Gibson steals stuff. You've got to keep the bedrooms closed, because if he finds shoes or whatever, Gibson carries them around with him, but he doesn't ruin them. Wade chews stuff up and destroys it. So that one could have gone either way. Being that it's in the bed that it was, that's where Wade usually goes, so I do think it was Wade. I'm not sure where he found it. Like, we don't usually leave stuff. We are pretty careful not leaving stuff down because we know what's a problem for them, but yeah. Ansi said, hi Lacey, your new frogs are so cute. Thank you. I know, they're so adorable. The little albino, that one was up all night. Like, that is the most active I have ever seen a tree frog. Like, crazy, crazy active. I'm not going to put too much here behind the bubble because I want it to look like it's little translucent, so we're not going to fill that in too dark. But that frog was really active. The purple one did not want to wake up last night. So I mean, it's going to take them a little bit of time to adjust, so it's not something that I'm super concerned about, but of course I would want to see them adjusting faster. But the little albino, that one, that's Captain Cookie, was all over I mean, more active than even my adult Murky. Like, that frog was everywhere last night. I don't think she ate. She might have. I don't know. I couldn't tell with how I had the camera set up. But yeah, they are really, really, really cute. So hopefully little Murloco, the little purple one, will adjust quickly after the experience I had with the sick ones I got from Josh's frogs. I'm super paranoid, but I think because of the breeder I got them from. They should be fine. Let's see. Julie said, "Hi Lisa, your new tree frogs are super cute. Will you be including them in artwork soon?" Absolutely. Yeah, they're definitely going to be. I want to include them on merch too and start using them a little bit more in my branding. So we will definitely be seeing more of them. But right now, like, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to photograph them. We'll do that more especially once they get into they're out of quarantine and they're in the big tank, because then we've got pretty, like, the background of the photos would be pretty too. But we'll definitely be getting some good reference photos with them. I've done one painting so far with the red-eyed tree frog, or with one of mine. That one was in acrylics a little while ago. Let's see. I'm just blocking these in so I know where they are, and then we're going to go through it and do shading and such. We're going to make this one go in front of it. Actually, let's erase a little bit so that this pencil will stick better. Where is it? That'll work. So I'm just going to lift some of this up. I'm not trying to necessarily get the paper, although this paper erases really well, back to like completely the regular gray. What I'm trying to do, and don't use your hands like I just did. That's a bad habit. Use a brush. But I want to lift enough of that so that the pencil will stick really well. Okay, I think that's all. Oh, no, we've got one over here, random branch. Going down. Oh, and I'm missing one altogether over here. Okay. Oh, I'm a little guy up here. So now I can start, I'm going to use purple to start getting my shadows in. Arya said, "I've seen your oil intro and I've been doing it wrong. I don't use the liquid thing. Should I binge them all? Binge them all? Binge them all or bin them all? Do you mean throw them away or binge watch them all?" I'm not sure what you're asking there, but with the liquid. So you can use, like, a lot of artists will use linseed oil instead, or walnut oil. I mean, there's a lot of different oils that you can use. I like linseed, but you do want some kind of a mixing medium, whatever you choose to go with. I like liquid, because it is fast drying. So whatever I paint today, it's going to be dry to the touch by tomorrow, so I can go on to my next layer right away. Whereas with, like, linseed oil, depending on how thick you're painting everything, it could stay wet for weeks on end. Not ideal for how I paint. So yeah, you're going to want some sort of a mixing medium. You're not just going to use straight paint out of the tube. You're going to want to thin that some. Again, whether it be linseed oil, liquid, whatever you choose to go with, you do want a mixing medium, but I definitely recommend the liquid. It is my favorite. Let's see. Priya said, "After 3 to 5 layers of pencil using OMS, if the pigment moves around on the paper, is it still too little pencil layers? Too much OMS, or am I just scrubbing it too rough?" If it moves around, it shouldn't. Wait, am I reading this wrong? After 3 to 5 layers of pencil using OMS. Okay, so 3 to 5 times blending with OMS. So 3 to 5 layers, blend with OMS, repeat times 3. Am I reading that right? If the pigment moves around on the paper, is it still too little pencil layers? So usually when the pigment starts moving around, you're using a little bit too much OMS. Use less OMS. That should solve your problem. And I will get to where on those final layers, it's going to get to where it moves around more. So what I do is I'll have dipped the brush in the OMS, and I dry it off as much as I can on my paper towel, and I set it off to the side to dry, and to where it's almost completely dry before I use it, if you're getting to where it's moving around too much. Let's see. Shelly Ashley said, are you working on the smooth side of Canson Mi-Teintes for this? Yes. The only time I'm going to use on the rough side is if I'm using charcoal or if I'm using pan pastels as a base. But anytime it's just straight colored pencil, always the smooth side. Leisha said, number 1, I finally broke down and ordered brush and pencil texture fixative and titanium white. Yay! They sent me samples of powdered blender look and the Lux archival paper. Where's number 2? Number 2, Caran d'Ache watercolor pencil and Derwent colored pencil. Super impressed. Oh, you got lots of fun stuff. Nice. Congratulations, you're gonna have fun. Sergio said, that absolute stink of a smile you showed the camera after stating the absolute atrocious thing that is Pepsi is better than Coke made it worth it. I mean, Pepsi's just so much better. I cut myself off. I am never allowed soda. Like, I drink bubble water, like carbonated water, but not soda because it's too addicting for me. And that is just, it's not good. Like, I can't limit myself. Like, oh, once a week I'm going to have a Pepsi. No, I want it every day, nonstop, all day. So I have to just, I'm not allowed, but I miss you, Pepsi. Alana said, any chance of a tinted charcoal live stream or for Patreon? I still have not used the Derwent tinted charcoal I ordered. Do I have them? I don't even know if I own them. I think I do. I do, don't I? I don't know. I don't remember. Derwent is awesome, and they've sent me a lot of stuff, and some of it I have not tried yet. So I should. I do, don't I? Don't I have that? I'm going to have to go look and see what I've got. Because I have no memory. Let's see. RC does not beat them both. You are wrong, Nick. Pepsi. Nothing beats Pepsi. Except maybe, okay, I do like Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke does I like Cherry Pepsi, but I think Cherry Coke is I like a little bit more, so that's the only time Coke wins. Let's see. Hi, Caution Artist at Play. I'm just scrolling down, going into, let's see, here we go. At the 1st of February, I bought the 100 set of Derwent Light Fast, and I do love them. The only negative I have come across is they have a tendency to break more than the polychromos. Yeah, and the reason for that is they are a softer lead, so they have a higher wax content. And the reason that the Derwent Light Fast, they blend a little bit smoother because they have a higher wax content. Now, the difference, because I know that kind of gets confusing where I'm super critical of Prismacolor breaking all the time, but not of Derwent Light Fast breaking all the time. Well, Derwent Light Fast doesn't break that often anyway. It does break more than polychromos, but polychromos pretty much never break, so there's that. Derwent Light Fast, if they break, it's just because I was pushing too hard, had too sharp of a point. It's not because of poor quality control. Issues like Prismacolor is. That's my issue with Prismacolor. A pencil, the higher the wax content, it is going to be more prone to breaking. That is the nature of it, except for the ChromaFlow, which is weird. That's a whole other thing, and I don't understand how they made those not break, other than the orange. That I only had one break. But anyway, and that was only one time. I don't, my problem with Prismacolor is their wood casings are so bad that they are adding to the issue of the pencil. Like, the pencil is going to break anyway. You're dealing with a soft lead, so it's going to be prone to breaking. It needs to have a good wood casing to try to prevent that as much as possible. Prismacolor doesn't. And so that's where I'm harsh on Prismacolor for breaking, and it's the quality control, not the wax of the lead, but that's going back to the Derwent Light Fast. You're talking about a pencil, while they do list them as being oil-based, they do have a higher wax content than polychromos, which is why they blend smoother. So, you've got that balance there. Joseph says, the funny thing is that RC Cola is literally just Coke. Would explain why I don't like it. Let's see. Jason said, you would actually hire someone to work for you? Wow, I would think that would end up being amazing. I would think that it would be amazing that topic came up. Huh? If I hired, see, the problem is with me hiring somebody, I'm going to be picky. I don't think I would be fun to work for. I have very high expectations of what I want done, and if you can't do it at least as well as I can, why would I pay you to do it? So I don't think like I've considered just having my husband work for me. It would be tight, but maybe we could get to where I was making enough to pay for insurance, because we needed his job for health insurance. But I was like, maybe we could make that work. No, we'd kill each other. Like, I think that our 20-year marriage would be toast. If I don't think I would be fun to work for. My expectations are just not what the average person is going to reach. Let's see. I'm just scrolling. Here we go. Arya said, me and my mom are watching you in awe at how good you draw. Oh, thank you. Hi to your mom. Kim said, I'm absolutely in love with your new babies. Really enjoyed the video yesterday. Thank you. Thanks. Like, it still surprises me to hear people enjoy, like, I so close came, like, I had it edited and uploaded, and I came so close to going, should I even post this? Is anyone going to want to watch this? So that's really good to hear. Thank you. Hello, Shiny said, nice to catch you. I'm going to go see a small local dog show this morning. Wish you could come. Should be lots of sheepdogs, I imagine. How fun. Oh, yay. I do miss dog shows. I used to show my Italian Greyhounds. That was fun. Echo especially. Echo loved, Jessie never really liked the show. Echo loved them. She loved being in the ring. She loved being the center of attention. She loved when the judge would come pet her and touch her because that's just like, yay, attention. Thank you, Kat. They are adorable. I agree. Scrolling down. Drinking some coffee. Bob said, I work using watercolors, and although they can get muddy easily, I have made that a part of my style. I think as an artist, it would be great to catch on to what makes your work unique. I think so too. I think that there can be things that, like, and I've said this in my videos when I try to do, like, here are the top mistakes made in whatever medium. If you're making something that somebody else calls a mistake, but you like it, then it's not a mistake. The only time I would be like, okay, that's an issue, is if it makes something not archival. That's going to be an issue. But as far as, like, you're coming up with muddy results, but you like it, that's it. Then it's not a mistake, is it? That's part of you. And I think it's important for artists to spend time trying to find ways to make our work unique. Experimenting, sometimes those experiments will fail, and that's important to understand too. You're going to have times where you're like, wow, that was a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it's important to figure out what is yours. And you will always have somebody there telling you, oh, you should have done this different. This should be done differently. And it's like, but if you like the results you're getting, then do you need to do those different? No. It doesn't matter if I tell you it would be better a different way. It doesn't matter if you like the results you're getting. I think that's something that we don't put enough emphasis on as an artist. What I like needs to matter more in my work than what you like. Now, that's not to say your opinion isn't important, but in my work, I need to be creating what makes me happy, what I like. That's going to make my work unique, more unique, and get me more sales than creating what one random person wants or what the overall, like, I don't need to look like everybody else. I don't need to produce the same as everybody. I need to produce what I like. And I think we have to start trusting our own instinct and our own taste. Like, what I like matters, because that's what's going to influence my own work. So we spend a lot of time asking people, well, should I do this or should I do that? No, what do you like? What color do you like? Because so we can go into color is a big one. People are constantly asking, they want to know the exact color that I'm using. It doesn't matter. Saying that again, it doesn't matter. Your values matter. How light are your lights? How dark are your darks? That is going to make, like, if you're trying to make your work look more realistic, that's going to do it. It doesn't matter if you use the same purple. You could use a different purple. You could use magenta. Your work can still look realistic. Pick the color you like. That's important. And that's a big part of progressing as an artist, is starting to trust your taste, just to trust the things that you like. It's really important. And it's something that we tend to get too worked up on what somebody else is going to like. That isn't going to separate you as an artist. Your taste, the things that appeal to you, you want to apply that to your work, not the colors I chose. That's not, first off, you're never going to learn to choose colors if you continuously, like, you have a lot of tutorials they're good for beginners. Like, let's say you get a book and they're like, use this pencil number, whatever, use this one. It ends up being a crutch when you think that you can't choose the color on your own. You get to where you only feel comfortable using a color somebody else told you to. Now, sure, to begin with, fine, whatever, if you want to do that. But I think very, very early on, people need to be choosing their own colors. People need to be brave enough to trust what they like, because that is what's going to make a difference in their artwork. Let's see. And if that means letting your watercolors be muddy and that's what you like, you just learned that. That's perfect. That's good. Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. Could you make a video about Derwent artist pencils? That is the truth that I would love to know your opinion of those. I don't even have those pencils. I don't think those are considered. Did I get some in a Smart Art box, or did Derwent send me some to test? I don't remember. But I don't think I have like an actual set to review. If I remember, whatever I had, I want to say was a little bit too hard. Like it wasn't something that I would run out and spend money on. I know that I tried them at one point, and I don't remember what for. Was it smart? I don't know. But I wasn't like, these are amazing, I need these. They weren't terrible. They just weren't like, I have to run out and buy these. But it's been years, and maybe that wasn't the same. I don't know. Maybe I should stop talking about things I'm not certain on. Maybe, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that would be a good review. So maybe I'll ask Derwent to send me some. Sam said, hi Lisa, what advice would you have for someone wanting to improve their eye for composition? I'm okay with portraits, but scenes give me trouble. So one of the things that you can do if you have a hard time finding balance is understand the rule of thirds. Try to incorporate that. So maybe your sky, don't put your skyline right in the middle. Put it in the lower third. So you've got 2/3 sky, 1/3 land. Using the rule of thirds, it can be a really good thing to help you with composition. And then you can get into going into, 3-point perspective and getting into different, 3-point perspective. Am I adding extra points? I don't know, extra perspective. But you can get into those as well. But start studying and learning those. The rule of thirds would be a great place to start. Let's see. Aria said, I should subscribe to your Patreon. I feel like I'm missing out. I have many art inquiries. I'm not going to talk you out of it. Let's see. Oh, no, we need the hound cam. Where is this? There we go. We're going to leave that up for entertainment purposes. Priya said, you understood my question. Sorry for not being clear, but thanks for your answer. I'll try less OMS. Appreciate your input. Oh, good. Delila said, I think you need to find an octopus to put in that glass container where you were planting the new plants. I loved the painting. He just belongs. I don't think he'd fit though. I don't think I could fit one in there because it's not big. But I did find a metal. It was like $90. I don't think I can justify coming up with $90 for it, but it was a metal, like, in that video I showed you the Momrath's sign. It was like that, but it was an octopus kind of coming out of the ground with his arms, like there were several stakes. It was really cute, but I'm like, I don't think I could justify like $90 for that. But I kind of wanted to. Let's see. Nadia, am I saying that right? Said, I just signed up your Patreon channel and can't wait to try something so talented. Oh, yay! Please share what you do for us. Let's see. Irritated Paintbrush Art said, hi Lisa, how many coats of gesso should I do on watercolor paper for acrylics? 1 coat should be enough. I mean, you really shouldn't need more than that. I'm just scrolling down. Trying to get caught up on some questions. I always get way behind. There we go. Jason said, that's what I meant because your expectations for yourself are high and the person working for you would have to be great. Yeah, I don't think it would be fun for that person. I don't think I would be a fun boss. I think I know what I want done. And I mean, that's like why having somebody do video editing, you can hire people to do it, but it's like, I think I'm too picky. I don't think I have that attitude of no one's going to do what I want as well as what I would do. Like, not that no one could do it better, but they won't know what I want type thing. Like, it's hard to, so yeah, I don't think that'd be fun. Let's see. These questions for some reason are duplicating here. Shartney said, does the albino frog need any special care in comparison to the other frogs? Nope. Should be all the same. I mean, they'll have their lights that they're artificial lights, LEDs that go on for the plants, but no, they're not in like real sunlight that's super strong. The lights aren't strong enough to hurt them. So, and the lights are away from like the way that tank is set up, the lights are more in the front and there's nothing directly under for him to just sit or her to sit there. And when they sleep, they typically sleep on the underside of leaves. So they're in the shade anyway. She really isn't ever going to be exposed to very much. I keep saying she because for some reason that coloration makes me think she, but I keep getting the genders wrong on these frogs. My Murky is a female. Oh my gosh, that frog is big, but I've always called him a he because he was little. because the males are smaller. No, not anymore. That's definitely a she. And so I need to stop just, because I guarantee you if I keep calling the cookie, the albino, a she, it's really going to be a he. So, and it's going to screw my head up again. But getting used to switching that around. But anyway, no, because they sleep on the underside of the leaves anyway, they're really, when the lights are on, they're really not exposed to that much. So technically they don't, people argue whether or not they need light at all, that they get all the vitamins they need through the vitamin supplementation. I don't know. Mine will get lights. It's just going to be, you know, they're under the leaves anyway, so they're not really exposed to much. That was a lot of words to say no. Alana said, any advice on animal fur? I can do bird feathers, but I really struggle with animal fur. I try to clump and not to make the same stroke repeatedly, but it still looks wiry and coarse. You're putting probably too many strands in there then. So instead of trying to get a whole bunch of lines to do the fur, to do that clump, it's more solid. Like fill that in, and then you can come through as needed with a few individual strands. But don't, if you're getting too wiry, they're too separated, don't let them, well, this is not the best example, but you know, a little bit more solid. One of the things you need to do when you look at your reference photo, whatever it is you're doing, one, flip it upside down. So if you're struggling with something, that's always going to be step one, flip it upside down. But work on one little square inch. And one of the things you can do, take a piece of paper, tear out a little square. I used to do this for students when they would struggle with getting certain textures because they were just hyper focused on, but I'm creating animal fur. No, you've got to get that out of your brain. When you're starting to struggle with that, don't look at it that way. Look at it as one little abstract area. So I would take the reference photo, cut out the same area on the reference photo as I did this piece of paper, and we are only focusing on the shape here and the shape, that same shape on your reference photo, like crop that out about the same area, and that is all you're focusing on. And what you're really looking at is your abstract, your lights and your darks. You are not focusing on, I'm drawing fur, because what's probably happening is your brain is saying, I'm drawing fur, and it's forcing you, you're adding things that shouldn't be there. You're adding too much, too coarse of lines that don't need to be there. And so those would be some tips for you. Let's see. Okay, I got that question already about the artist pencils. Can I show the eraser tool I used? Yes, so this one is actually from Mexico. This is, if you guys remember Conejo, he had sent me it. That's how I got to know Conejo. He had sent me a bunch of these. But this one, it's the Lapis Borracha. You know I'm butchering that. I apologize to those of you who actually speak Spanish and know how to say that properly. But this one was the one out of Mexico. Now, I did hear from Conejo that they are not making this one there anymore. So you will occasionally see me use this. But the alternative, which is the same thing from the same company, just a different label, and it actually has a little brush on it, there we go, is this one. This is the Perfection Eraser from Faber-Castell. And it's like an ink eraser on the one end. You've got a brush on the other. So where I used my hand and I said, don't do that, you would just use your brush here. They're a must-have, from absolute must-have. It is the only eraser I use now for colored pencil. It works so well. Your normal erasers it almost gets gummy, like it smudges the pencil back and forth without lifting it. This, because it's more, oh, don't put it in there. It's more like an ink eraser. This will actually lift some of that. Just don't overdo it because it is kind of like an ink eraser, so it's a bit more rough. But they are amazing. So it's the Faber-Castell Perfection Eraser. Anytime you guys see me use this greenish one, it's really just this one. It's that I have him buy me so many of these because we stocked up, like seriously stocked up on those years ago. I will never have to buy another eraser again. Let's see. Yeah, is that not true? Kimberly said, be authentic. And when you become one, people will judge you. Human nature at its finest. I know we live in the weirdest society where everyone wants everyone to be the same. And that's not cool. We're going to have different opinions. That's okay. We're going to like different things. We're going to like different colors. We're going to like different subject matters. That's all okay. Everyone tries to force everyone into this box that makes them comfortable. No. Just no. And especially as an artist, and it's weird to me how many artists jump on these bandwagons. And it's like, that is the opposite of what we should be doing as artists. It's just crazy to me how many fall into that mindset of this like collective group think instead of thinking for themselves, making their own choices, not having somebody else tell them what to do, what to like, what to say, what to wear, what to whatever. It's very weird for how many artists are suddenly getting into this almost hive mind thought of must think like everyone else, must follow the, it's weird to me. It's kind of creeping me out. It's like a zombie, like there is our zombie. We really do have zombies. They're all trying to be the same. Let's see. Kimberly said, so glad the dystopian movie era, Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner were over. Were you a fan of those too? Sort of. I didn't watch the other ones. I watched the first Maze Runner, I think. And it was like, yeah, I mean, maybe I could watch more. I don't know. I didn't get super into it. Hunger Games, I read the books. And those just left me feeling like, oh, that's black. That's not what I wanted. They just left me feeling like I'm not okay. Like, I guess it's a medium happy ending, but I did not feel okay after those books. So I'm just not a, nope for me. Let's see. Tamara said, great advice. Also trust what you learned. Like my white horse in watercolor. I watched you long enough and finally had the courage to go for it. Yeah, that horse is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Sergi said, do not forget about the extra 24 luminance colors. Oh, speaking. Oh wait, not luminance. I didn't get the extra 24 luminance. Never mind. I got, did I show you guys these? Derwent sent me, Derwent sent me the rest to make up my 100 set of, they all fell. Like, by all I mean two. I can't count. But I've got my, I should stop trying to hold these like that. There we go. Look at, can you see the colors? Look at all the pretty colors. So I have those. I should probably do a review of just those. Hold on. Let me pick up what I threw down. Oh, I found an eraser. I was looking for you earlier. Anyway, those are awesome. Moving on. Hi, Anna. Jackie said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. I'm finding it hard to mix and choose my own colors after relying on a teacher. Yeah, cut yourself off of that addiction. Like if you right now are in a place, like not you specifically, because obviously you're working towards that, but if any of you are stuck on, I need to know the color, I can only follow tutorials where they tell me the color, stop it. If you want to improve, if you want to get to where you can do this on your own, sorry, itchy nose, stop that. Start picking your own colors. You're going to make some bad mistakes. You're going to choose some colors where you're like, oh, wish I hadn't have done that. And then you learned not to do that thing. You're going to learn more from that than somebody else telling you this is the color to use. You will learn far more from using the wrong color and deciding, I don't like that. Plus, like I said, you've got so much that's to do with your, just what you like is important in your art. Oh, did you flap back over, Gibson? Let's see. I'm just scrolling down, and here we have some spam call. I don't want to talk to you. Spam caller of spam. Nadia said, my grandbabies love that you said my name on here. So it is Nadia. Okay, good. Nadia. Okay, let's see if I can remember to keep saying that correctly. I butcher everyone's names. Like, I'm so bad about it. The Painted Hairbrush said, hi, I love your video of your everyday life. Your Brazil plant is beautiful. I have one as well, and it's lacking the shiny leaves it once had. Any advice? It's in a ceramic pot. Shiny leaves, that just should be clean. I mean, dusting them. Now, some people will do these weird things on their plants where they put mayonnaise on the leaf. Don't do that crap. Like, that is not healthy for the leaf. The most that I do on my leaves is just to wipe them down with water. Should be enough. But just, I mean, I guess as a plant ages, you're going to see some variation there. If the plant is not producing, the newer leaves, you're going to see more of that shine. So I'm wondering if your plant is staying alive but not producing a lot of new foliage. And if that's the case, try adjusting the light. If he's getting a lot of light and not growing, try the opposite. And I think on these guys, they're going to want a bit higher light. So like mine is next to the window, but in front of the wall. So it's not like going to be beaten down with sun. I also don't want to burn it, but I think that these got those ones like a little bit higher light. Like my pothos I'll put back further, but these guys I think pothos can handle more light too. But try if he's not producing a lot of new foliage, try going a little bit closer to the light and see if that makes a difference for you. And of course you can always fertilize to get some new growth, but usually I'm thinking it's probably a matter of the new growth tends to be shinier. So, and I could be wrong. I've not had a Brazil before. So the philodendron Brazil, he's my, well, kind of, I have a cutting, but he's coming out of my beta tank. So, if I had to guess just based on what I know about most plants, that's probably the case. I mean, if I look behind me, you might actually be able to see it on the, yeah, you can see it. The big one kind of to the corner by where Gibson is. There, I've got a Monstera. Did what? Oh, boys. Someone made a stink. That's not usual for them. Anyway, yeah, I have it was feeling it was you, mister. I'm going to groan over there. The Monstera, the new leaves are super shiny, super glossy, and they do get a little bit dull with time. So that's, I'm guessing that the philodendron, that's probably what's happening there. Or maybe it just needs to be dusted. That can, and I just use water when I dust mine. Or you can kind of, if you can take it in the shower, or if you've got a countertop nozzle thing that you can kind of spray it down with. You just don't want to cover, if you can, the base of the plant so that you're not oversaturating the soil if you do that. Let's see. I'm just scrolling down. Zia said, love the last video, seeing the new froggies. Will you do the flamingo project for Patreon or YouTube? I will do it for both. I was going to start painting it last night and I just didn't, I was tired yesterday. I did not get to it. So today I'm going to start, I don't know if you can, no, you can't see it. The canvas is back here. It's big. I'm going to get the base layer done on that hopefully tonight. So that is the plan on that, but it will go on Patreon first and then end up on YouTube as well. Can I demonstrate the pencil eraser? I will when we get to the bubbles or maybe some of the highlights. We're not really at a place where I have anywhere that needs to be erased yet, but yeah, we will. I'll point out when we go to get to that again. Do I think brush and pencil will ever sell a ready mixed white touch-up texture? That would be very handy. It would be handy. I don't know if there are any plans for that, but my God, I would love that. That would be pretty amazing. Maybe we should talk to her about it, like encourage, like email Alion and we would really like a product like this. Hi, I always butchered your name. I know I do. Tarcisio? I don't know. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. And I'm sorry, I just butchered your name. Clark Feinert said, have you tried the Copic Opaque White? They claim it can be used over colored pencils. Any thoughts on that? Does anyone else know? I don't know if I trust Copic on their archival statements, given their colored pencils are not light fast. Like, I'm not sure if that's their primary concern. Can you use it? Will it look good? Probably. If they make that claim, I trust it. Is it archival? I don't know. They're not really known for trying to make archival products. That's not their focus. And I'm not like judging them negatively for it. It's just not their focus. So I don't know on that one. Do you think the average client cares or even wants to know how an artist created his piece? My fear is that maybe I have a bad habit that the industry stubs. Nope, the buyer gives zero craps. Other artists like to judge you because they don't, maybe you have something that you use. Let's say I've got a projector. I paid an arm and a leg for that projector. Not everyone can afford that projector. The artists who can't afford it or just don't choose to use it will judge me, say, well, you're cheating. No, I saved up. There's a difference. It's, you can get cheaper projectors than the one I overpaid for that review, and then they don't even make that anymore. But LG make it was anyway. So you have, okay, there are different factors. There are several elements where somebody gets judgy. I have never had a buyer care what tools I use to create, other than sometimes they'll specifically like request a colored pencil or oil painting or something like that. But as far as like, don't use this eraser, don't use a projector, don't use this tool, don't use it, they don't care. They want good art. They want something on their wall that they are proud to show people. They give no craps about what you use to create it. Other artists are judgy jerks, and they like to judge you and try to set their rules for they may make a rule for themselves, but then it's kind of like everyone in life these days. They make a rule for themselves as to what they find to be correct or right, and then they try to impose their personal rules on everybody else. I've decided not to use an eraser, so if you use an eraser, you're wrong. I've decided not to use a light box, so if you use a light box, you are wrong. And this is something that is just prevalent in art communities. Like, I don't even use art forums. The only art groups I really use, I'm in some colored pencil groups that I really like, and I'm in, our own art group. We don't allow the people being jerks about that stuff. But you have these people, and I think it's just typical of our culture, is I made a rule for myself, and now you have to follow my personal rule for myself. What? Like, people are insane. And it is very frustrating to see how often this crap happens, but artists are the ones who do it. The client doesn't care. The client wants good art. As an artist, all I care about is creating good art. So whatever tool you need to use, if that's erasers, if that's shading tools, like there are people who will tell you don't use shading tools for graphite work. Why? Like if that doesn't give you the result, like if that artist has decided that the shading tool doesn't give them the result they want, then great, don't use it. Use what tools you like. Like with me, I talk a lot of crap about Prismacolor, but the reality is you can create amazing work with Prismacolor, and the buyer doesn't care if you use Prismacolor and fought with breaking pencils or if you use something else, with the exception of the fact that a lot of the Prismacolors are not light fast. But let's pretend you only use the light fast Prismacolors. The buyer does not care. They care what results you got. So that's my rant on that. Priya said, thank you, Lisa. I'm working on the military macaque tutorial you did using only 12 pencils. It's so difficult not to pull out all the other colors. Oh, I know what you mean, because I felt that way while working on it too. But it's a great learning opportunity. That's awesome. Brian said, is sci-fi your favorite genre to watch or read? Sci-fi or fantasy or like paranormal type stuff. That's not scary paranormal stuff. I don't like scary stuff that much, but I don't like nonfiction. Yeah. My brain just flipped that. I don't like nonfiction. Like I only want fantasy. Like I want fairy tales. I don't want real life. I don't really care about people's personal stories that much because I guess I'm a selfish person. I just don't want to read about someone else's life. I want an escape. I guess when I read my books, I like to escape into another world. So, but like when I think of sci-fi, I also think of space, and I don't like space things typically, except for Firefly. Was it Firefly? I mix up Firefly and which one was the movie, which one was the show. Let's see. Sergi said, watching you grab the extra light fast pencils, all I could think about is she's beauty, she's grace. She just dropped a pencil that costs as much as a generic morning coffee. That is awesome. Let's see. Hi, Louise. What are some good reference sites? I also signed up for your Patreon. Welcome. Good reference sites. For free stuff, I like Pixabay and Unsplash. For paid, wildlifereferencephotos.com is my favorite. So those are my normal go-tos. Let's see. Kimberly said, a family channel here stopped uploading content because they were targeted with a stalker. Never share your address, guys. It amazes me people's capabilities to ruin others. Oh, yeah. That is definitely... yes, a concern. Like there's a reason I don't post like the front of my house at all. Like I don't even post what my brick color is. I guess I just announced it was brick. But like I don't like nothing. There's nothing on the front of my house that you would look at and go, oh, Lisa lives there. Those are her colors. Like there's nothing that would make you think that. So, and I won't post photos, and it sucks because I like to do gardening and planting out there. No, I'm not posting any of that online. I am terrified of, yes. And even here in comments occasionally, we have a few people who I know are like, let's see, how can I be not a jerk? Not possible. I'm just gonna be a jerk. There are people who I know are lying in the comments, the stories they tell me and the stuff. And I'm like, well, that's bull. I know you're making that up for attention. And it's like, there are a lot of people out there who their thinking process is it's scary. It makes you go, oh, I'm glad you don't have my address. Yeah, don't be posting that stuff online. That's for sure. Bob said, do you have anything recently that made you want to rant? I love your rants on these lives. Anything recently? I mean, probably, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. They just randomly hit. Brian said, is it better to use gouache or acrylic for highlights when using colored pencils and watercolor? Neither if you're on color. Okay, if it's a wax or an oil-based colored pencil, that's wax and oil-based. We do not want to use a watercolor pencil a watercolor product on top of it. So if I'm using these pencils, wax and oil-based pencils, I am not going to use gouache or acrylics. Neither are a good choice. Neither are going to be archival. So neither. If you are using watercolor pencils or Inktense pencils, those are water-based, then you can use gouache or acrylics. Doesn't matter. Pick your medium there. Let's see. Gypsy Heart said, I know you use a condiment cup for mixing your touch-up texture mixture. Do you use a new one each time, or can you, yeah, no, just rinse it out. It just rinses out, or it actually will flake up off of that. So yeah, rinse it out, you're fine. You can I reuse it over and over. I also have gotten, because I go through so much distilled water, so I obviously recycle the bottles, but the caps, I've been saving those, and then I don't even have to clean them because I have so many lids from those. So the little, like, do I even have any over here? I've been saving them. Yeah, these. These work really well too, just the lid to the water bottles. What kind of colored pencils is the name and which is best? In the video description, I have listed what I am using, and those are all my favorites. Scrolling. Gail said, I'm curious about something on your drawing. What is the oval thing levitating between the branch and the bird on the left bottom? Love the bubbles idea. Oh, what is that? That I think it was supposed to be a flower bud, so I didn't finish the branch. That continued on. That was supposed to go, because it's for part of that one, and it kind of curves up, and then there was a little bud on it. So I had the bud, but no branch. Let's see. Firefly the show, Serenity the movie. So we brought that up. It was funny, a few weeks ago on a Wednesday we were talking about that. And my husband, after the live stream was in the other room, he goes, I wanted to yell at you so bad. It's Serenity. It's this or that. So he, I guess, had been listening to us and me calling it the wrong thing, because I always get those mixed up. Alana said, yes, books are for escape, but no, we're on a ship looking for a new planet, humans to survive. If it doesn't have magic of some sort, I'm not interested. Oh, you and I have the same taste then. Yeah, I like magic. If there's magic involved, I love stuff, anything to do with like the Fae. I'm a huge fan of that, or like elementals. Yeah, I that's what I like. The more nature stuff, I guess. But it's even like with video games. I don't like my husband will play video games that are in space. I never was interested in those. Like, I want pretty land, pretty trees, pretty like magic and that sort of thing. Well, World of Warcraft, I just play that. Scrolling, there we go. Dee said, must think like everyone else, art style is very easy to fall into if you spend too much time on Instagram, or if I spend too much time on Instagram. Oh, definitely. And it's one thing to be inspired by another artist. It's just, we don't want to look like, we want to try to branch out and make our own art. Like, it's not what we don't need. The other art already exists. We don't need to create what already exists. Try to make it our own. And that's easy for me to say when I'm creating stuff that looks like everyone else's too. I get that. But we do want to, me, myself included, try to branch out and be a little bit more us. The Painted Hairbrush said, I'm teaching my second group class and I was told they didn't meet the minimum student count of 4. Should I teach anyway for exposure or wait to fill the class in? So my attitude when I used to teach was, if there was 1 student, I was going to show up. If there were 20 students, I was going to show up. Because what happened, and this is what I noticed, I used to run the classes at Michael's, and Michael's would try to do, or at the one that not all Michael's, but the location I was at. I took over running the classes just so it would be done right, because the people who were doing it before were running the classes into the ground. So I took it over so I could have my schedule the way I wanted, actually make a schedule. So anyway, they had a minimum class count too. And I did not go by that, because what would happen is if you had one student sign up and you canceled on them because you're like, there aren't enough students. Next week, I have another student sign up. Cancel on, still don't have enough. And you keep canceling. You're never going to build up enough. What I wanted, like, you will always be, if you keep disappointing that student, they're going to give up. They're not going to keep trying to take your class, especially if it's an ongoing class like mine was. It wasn't like a one-time thing. So what I would do, now I understand if it were going to be one big group, like you're a one day or a one weekend class, like a workshop type thing, that's going to be a bit different. But for these ongoing courses, I have one student, I'm going to build on that. I will start and I will be there for that one student. And that student may or may not bring a friend, or maybe another student will sign up, but they know I'm going to be there. They can depend on me being there. And that is how some days I would have 3 students. Some days I would have 10. Some I would have 15. It would depend on who was available that day, but they knew I was going to be there. They knew they could depend on me, not to just cancel because other people didn't sign up. Yeah, the days I only had one student, I was making less than minimum wage. It kind of wasn't, actually, no, depending on when that was, because I changed my prices. But it wasn't, you were going to have a very hard time building up a student following if you keep canceling, waiting to have a whole bunch sign up at once. Here's the other thing. For me, everybody worked on their own project. We weren't all working on the same thing, which works because people can come and go from the class. If they miss a class, they're not going to fall behind, and that worked out very well for me. But if everybody shows up, if I have 4 new students on the same day, that was rough to get everyone started. So it was better when they trickled in. So if you're able to do, like, show up for the one student, you're going to build a following a lot better. And that is something that I really saw. And I taught at Michael's for years and years and years. And like I said, I ran the class, so I was aware of what other teachers were able to get. And the teachers that had that minimum, I won't teach unless I have this many students, you're not going to grow. And they didn't. Let's see. Oops, scrolling. Am I a fan of One Tree Hill? No, I don't really watch TV. I'm not a fan of TV for the most part. A few things I watch, not now. I don't even think there's anything on TV I watch now. I did like WandaVision. Anyway, let's see. Where were we? What's the best way to speed up the process of drawing with colored pencil? It depends. You can work with, depending on the paper you're working on, like if you go with a sandy paper like Lux Archival, that will make it go faster. I found that pastel mat, or Clairefontaine pastel mat, that also went faster for me. The pencils that you're using will make a difference. I use those ChromaFlow and those things. Like, I blew through that piece in 4 hours, start to finish. So the pencils will make a difference, and the paper will make a difference. I guess it depends on what your goals are. But the thing is, overall, colored pencil, for the most part, is a slow medium. That's just something that you want to be aware of and accept. If you're expecting to get something done in a single night, you're probably not going to like this medium. Except apparently with me in the ChromaFlow that night, but I work fast, so. Servo said, have you read Red Rising series? It's a great sci-fi, said from someone who prefers fantasy and doesn't read much sci-fi. I don't think I have. I've read so many books, though, I'll forget, like, completely and go through my list, and I'm like, oh, I own that, but I read that? I don't even remember that one. I don't think I have. I'm just scrolling. Here we go. Ziga said, I normally read fantasy books. However, I just read 3 books about former CIA female agents, and it's fascinating. It's almost like fiction. Unbelievable what experiences they had. Interesting. Wendy said, Darnassus and Aberdeen were my favorite places to quest before Cata hit, and wow, I love drawing the dragons. Darnassus is so pretty. I didn't spend, because I mostly played, well, in vanilla I played Alliance, but then after Blood Elves came, I switched over to Horde. So I didn't spend much time in Darnassus, as pretty as that was. Stranglethorn was always my favorite, and then Grizzly Hills is my favorite of all lands. I would say Grizzly Hills, and then maybe behind that would be Nagrand. Lynn Creative Arts said, would you mind repeating the name of the bird artist you spoke of? Yes, Alan Woolet, W-O-O-L-E-T, if I'm remembering. I can't spell for crap, but look him up on Facebook. He's amazing. Or Instagram too. Sam says, I'm a huge fan of fantasy. Just started reading Shadow and Bone by Leah Berdugo. It's amazing. I'm eager to see the Netflix movie next month. Shadow and Bone, what is that one? Oh, I am intrigued. Bob said, let's see, where are we? The things that make me want to rant are the people who chew food loudly and get mad when you tell them to stop, and the people who feel it's okay to be rude to you in public. You know, I almost rather someone be rude to me in public because they're not going to win that rudeness. Like, I grew up in Claremont, California. We were known as the Claremont Bees. Like, that was just what we were, even everyone, all the girls in Claremont, I would say, were mean girls. I mean, that was, I've got that down pat. It's not something that I try to, you know, you try not to behave like an a-hole, which is what we all were, but I'm good at it. So if they're going to do that in person, it's almost easier. I hate when people do that online and you're like, I can't even respond to this properly because you need to be able to see my facial expressions for me to thoroughly like knock you back down a peg because you were being rude. So it was, yeah, I would almost rather it in person. But I don't see it as much. I find that people in person are much nicer than people online. People on the internet are, I almost said a word that was inappropriate. Let's see. Joanna said, hi, very late today. Sorry. What time do you finish today, please? Your painting is looking great. Thank you. I finished in about 50 minutes. Alan Woolet, that's what it is. W-O-O-L-L-E-T-T. Yes, lots of double letters there. Thank you. Yeah, one of the things, I definitely like Texas better than California in this, and that, maybe not so much now with the pandemic, because now everyone kind of looks at everyone like, are you sick? Are you going to give me the zombie virus? But before, like, everyone here, for the most part, in public, is so much nicer to each other than California was. I really appreciate that about Texas. Like, you really don't see, now, not the driving. When they're in their cars, they're instantly, like, they revert to somebody without a brain, and they're all tailgate. Like, it is weird how people tailgate in Texas. And I've asked some of my friends that are driving like that, well, if I'm not right up on the other car, someone will get in front of me. Yeah, it's called driving. People change, that's okay if they get in front of you. Drive safely, you idiot. So that's the only thing that's annoying there. But, like, in person in stores and stuff, I was always impressed with how Texans just seem to be, I don't know, they seem to be more friendly. Whereas, like, if I randomly said hi to somebody in a store, like, you make eye contact and you're like, okay, it's awkward, I'll say hi now. In Texas, they say hi back and they'd be nice. In California, they'd look at you like, why are you talking to me? So, big difference there. Oh, it is raining. Let's see. I'm scrolling. Any chance to get to the bubbles today? Hopefully. I'm trying to get these branches in. I've been talking about it too much, haven't I? I'm trying to get to some of these branches so I can blend with OMS, and while those dry, start on the bubbles. Gail said, I love the soundtrack for Skyrim, Fallout, and The Last of Us, but hate all things horror, journey game, music, just beautiful too. Are there any soundtracks you would suggest? I don't know on that. I know Warcraft is amazing, but I haven't listened to any of the other ones in so long, I don't even remember, so I can't give much advice there. Favorite Friends character? Ross's monkey. Emerson, I'm from California. Yeah, me too. I don't live there now. I don't miss it. There's some beautiful areas, but man, I don't miss it. Carol said, hey Lisa, I was on your Patreon page where there is a highlighted area to look at your video list. It would not work for me. I tried a few times. I don't know what's going on with Patreon, but go to Lachri.com, and then if you scroll down a little, it has Patreon video library. Go there. That will give you links to wherever you want to go. That's going to be better. Let's see. TK said, I always drink not enough. Now I always take a sip when you do. Tonight my doctor will be proud of me. What is it you're drinking? Well, he probably wouldn't be proud of you if you were drinking what I'm drinking. I'm drinking coffee. That's funny though. I'm always thirsty. I drink a lot of water. I drink about a gallon of water a day. So, and I know that that's how much, because when we lived in the apartment here, we've got the filtered water on the fridge, so I drink that. But in the apartment, we'd get bottled water, and you did not want to drink that tap water. But it was about a gallon a day that we went through. My husband was constantly sending me to the store, I'm out of water again. And then we lived on the 3rd floor, so he had to drag all the gallons of water up. Yeah, don't miss it. Let's see. Any tricks to apply white color? Is it because the paper or the color itself? I did try, but the more I added, the more it blended into each other instead of getting brighter. So that's going to be typical. Now the pencil you use will make a difference. So like the Derwent drawing, and that's what I'll use that for some of these highlights, so you'll be able to see that. But the more, like the higher wax content, so the Derwent drawing is going to be the most opaque. The next behind that, I would go with the Caran d'Ache Luminance. Those are going to give you, it's never going to go white. It will always blend in with what's already there. That is normal, but you'll lighten that area. If I really want something to be white, I'm going to put the white pencil down first and kind of blend around it. If I'm working on white paper especially, I want to maintain the white of the paper. That's going to keep it brightest. Now, if I want to go back, we'll do this next week when I want to get white highlights like what I did on the frog. That's done with Touch Up Texture Titanium White Mixture, and I just mix that together and I can paint it on, and it's the only like paint that you can do on top of colored pencil that's going to be archival. So that is what I would go with there. Gothic said, people in Oklahoma are friendly, unlike Nevada. Yeah, I have a feeling Nevada's more like, at least, well, I've only been to Vegas, really, but they felt very much like California in that, so that makes sense. And then Oklahoma, I guess, would be a bit more like Texas. Jason said, wait, you mean that people in the Bay Area are so close to accidents that it's not even funny? The space between cars doesn't exist. Oh, are they bad there? California, now maybe it changed. I don't know. When I lived in California, it just seemed like people would, I mean, obviously when you're in bumper to bumper traffic, that's not the case. But when you're going 60 on the freeway, you have a bit of space between you and the car in front of you. Here, they don't. They will be right up on it. And I'm just cringing going, oh, that's going to cause an accident. Oh, it's not going to end well. Bob said, sometimes I wish I had the courage to argue back with someone. For example, this one time, this woman was really rude to me on a bus train. I just froze and felt embarrassed. See, I get, when I have to go up into any kind of a conflict, I get like nauseated. I get super like anxiety or whatever, but I don't show it. Like I'm still going, like I embarrass my husband sometimes. I mean, we really don't run into issues often. It's just when people try, like they think, I don't know if it's because I'm short, they think they can kind of push you around or be rude or whatever. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not going to fly. That is not happening to my face. I'm a jerk when it comes to that. Am I going to give up on coffee any soon? I am never giving up on coffee. Scrolling down. Yes, Amy, it is a great. I have two greyhounds back here. Oh, Gibson that you see, the black one, is the one on the camera, and then you can't see my other one, Wade. They're in yesterday's video if you want to see them both. Wade is our cow print greyhound, the white and black. So what I'm doing here, I've got to get a good amount of pencil before I ever try to blend with OMS. If I blend before I've got a decent amount of pigment on the paper, not much is going to happen with the OMS. So I'm just loosely I'm being very messy. Now, I've already got my lights and darks blocked in. I'm just going over with a medium brown, and let's fill a bunch of that in. We'll do that quickly. Then I can blend with OMS, and then once it dries, I can do highlights. That won't be today. I don't think this will dry. This paper, because and it's super humid with it raining today, but this paper is really absorbent, so the OMS takes a lot longer to dry. So this is super sloppy technique, just slopping that in there. Now another option would be to burnish. I could choose not to blend with OMS at all and just burnish. These are thin enough that a lot of the areas will be done now. Actually, I'm almost tempted to do that so I can not have to deal with the dry time. Yeah, we may do that. Okay, so then the white I can go ahead and start doing now where I want highlights. It's just going to lighten it. But it's not going to be straight actual white. But I'm using the Derwent Drawing Chinese white. This is going to give me my brightest white there. Let's see. Turbo said, Shadow and Bone trilogy is just amazing. Great villain magic. Bardugo's Six of Crows duology is also great. Six of Crows, did I read that one? Hold on. Let's find out if that was actually, maybe that wouldn't be on here. There was something with crows that I really liked. I don't even remember what it was now. Let's just look in my Audible thing and... No, that wasn't it. I don't remember. Somebody made us think again. This is not pleasant and not usual for you. I gave them their heartworm medication last night. I think that's what's causing a little bit of digestive differences. We'll go with that. But they're kind of killing me. Normally, because the food they eat, there's no... This isn't fun today. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's not on here for some reason. Maybe I read the book and didn't do Audible. I don't know. Something about crows I read and I liked. Let's see. Zeke, I said, do you think... what did you think of WandaVision? She's my favorite. What would your power be as an Avenger? Maybe project a self-portrait as a hero, maybe, or project of yourself as I can't talk. I know what you said. It is not coming out of my mouth properly. I really did enjoy WandaVision a lot. That was a lot of fun. I really liked what is her name? And I'm excited to see what her character is. It's the one that I guess is supposed to replace Captain Marvel, or like be the, she had the cutest hair. I can't remember her name now. But anyway, I really, really enjoyed it, and I shouldn't go on about that because some people might not know that's a thing. My husband is a comic book nerd, so I get some insight on what characters are going to be what characters next. But yeah, I liked it. Was a fan. What did you say as far as what would your power be as an Avenger? That bad attitude, is that a power? Because I'm able to do that. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to be able to fly. Like, I mean, I don't know. They've got fancier powers than that, but anything that I get to fly, I think would be fun. A Broken Xbox said, congrats on 300,000 subscribers. Thank you. Wendy said, was wondering what kind of music you listen to. When I am drawing my dragons or playing WoW, I love Blind Guardian. I have not heard of them. I have a Mumford & Sons radio, like Pandora station that I listen to, so it's like them. Trying to think of some of the bands that come up on there. It's mostly kind of a folk type thing. I like that. I like classical. I like new age stuff, like, if you would call it new age, Balmoria, or Balmoria, depends on how you pronounce it. Those are my main things. Amberlin is the best band of all time. What else? I'm trying to think. Who else plays? Monsters and Men plays on that station a lot. Who else plays a lot on that one? I can't do it right now. My brain, I'm like, I almost got it. It has an R in it, and I love him. And he like does everything. Music, he does everything himself. It's so good, and I cannot think right now. It's going to randomly pop in my head, and I'll blurt out a name, and you're going to be like, what? But it'll be related to that. So, yeah, I can't think of a bunch of the names. I don't know if I can pull up Pandora on here without it, like, starting to play and me getting a copyright strike. Let's find out. Where is my There it is. Don't play. Don't do it. I'm ready to pause you. Don't do it. I paused you. Can I see what I've listened to lately? Like, Monsters and Men was the first thing it tried to play. Dave Matthews Band. Oh my gosh, it's just trying to play. That's not going to tell me, like, what stuff is on my thing on the app. But, Dave Matthews Band, I love, like, half his stuff, and I hate the other half. Counting Crows, same thing. I love some of his songs, and then hate some of them. So, you know, I was in high school in the 90s, so that's kind of the music that I like a lot. Let's see. Nan said, what would your favorite job be if you weren't into art? Probably training dogs. I would probably go into, that was my original plan. I wanted to train dogs for the police. So dog training of some sort would probably be what I would do. Did I grow up with cartoons like Rugrats? I was a little bit before that. Rugrats were more my sister, who is 4 years younger than me. She watched that a lot. Rugrats always kind of grossed me out. Like, I didn't like the animation style. Like that Ren and Stimpy, I never liked the animation style, and that it just, there was something about it that just sat wrong with me. Um... 2610 said, is there any trick to apply white color? Is it because the paper or the pencil itself? I did try, but the more okay, this Restream starts repeating questions, so I apologize because I know we talked about that, but that is what I'm doing here, and you can see like it lightened it. See how it made it light purple because I put it over dark purple? That is just normal when you're using white colored pencil. It's going to mix in with whatever is there. Now, when I come on top with the Touch Up Texture Titanium White mixture next week, that will be actual white. So I'm picking areas that I want it to look like the sun is catching, and this is going to help my branches to look more three-dimensional and not so flat. But it's not something that I'm just going to go, this was a mistake I used to make a lot in my art. When I would do branches, everything looked super flat. Now these were kind of flat when I took the photo. It was a photo I took myself of some of my branches. So yes, I have branches, don't you? So they're in my house. Move along, Lisa, no one cares. I would go through and like the entire upper branch would be highlighted only on this side and shadow only on this side. What happens when you do that? Some branches may look that way, but you end up looking flat. When you've got this many branches, the light is going to be shadowed. So like this one's in front of this one or the other way around, whatever. One of those is casting a shadow on the other. So you're going to have random dark spots where it's not just lit all the way through. So that is one of the things you want to watch when you're doing, trying to make branches look a little bit more natural. Kimberly, I still think Jean Grey is more powerful. Fight me. Not than the Scarlet Witch. I'm sorry. Her only weakness right now is her not knowing what she can do. But she, like, do I listen to Taylor Swift? Not at all. Because I'm an adult. And Pepsi is still better. Stir in that pot. Let's see. Gail said, I only drink coffee every now and then, but I just leveled up. Bought a handheld Zuli frother that is a game changer, just like coffee shop froth. Oh, see, I don't want to like it more than I already like it because it's already such an addiction. If it got even better for me, that'd be a challenge. Anita said, I love your work and try to watch all your YouTube videos. Oh, thank you. But your timelines don't correspond. I live in South Africa. It's getting late here and I need to get some sleep. It's 22:22 here right now. Good night and thank you for joining when you're able to. Go to sleep. Carol said, I have been to your Patreon page wanting to see. Okay, that one. See, it's repeating. This is just repeat. I don't know why Restream does this. I guess it's good when I miss a question. I may catch it again later. Scrolling down. Bob said, I found Ren and Stimpy quite disturbing. Some of the things that happen in that show as well as the old cartoon style. It's creepy and I don't know why. Yeah, I remember my husband, he'd have it on TV or something occasionally. And I don't remember when, it would have been, 20 something years ago. But I remember no, please no. Have I thought of doing Harry Potter in colored pencils? No, because copyright issues. Like, I really don't do the celebrity thing anymore. And I know a lot of people do it, and it's fine. And I've done some celebrity stuff, because like Game of Thrones used to encourage artists to do fan art. It's not worth the risk to my channel for me. And a lot of people do it, and you're probably never gonna have a problem. But because of me and my channel, if I get a strike on the channel, you get 3 strikes, that's it. You just lost that channel. I'm not willing to risk that. YouTube for me isn't just a fun hobby, it's how I pay my bills. So I lose that, I lose my house. That's an issue. So I'm not I don't do fan art anymore unless, like I said, like Game of Thrones had encouraged fan art. If there's a company like that and I do it just for myself, I'm obviously not selling, not making prints. If they encourage the fan art and we're like, hey, artists, do this. And then I'm like, okay, that's gives me a little bit of free reign to do it. Like World of Warcraft, they encourage fan art and they'll sometimes share fan art. So if I want to paint a Murloc sometime, which I do, then I would feel comfortable doing that. But again, not selling, not making prints. And Most celebrity stuff though, I avoid. It's just not worth the risk to me. And yeah, I know most people, you've got tons of artists who do it and have no problems. They base their whole channel off that. That's fine. We all make our choices. My choice is to, I'm not chancing it because I am a paranoid person. Oh, Jane Grey. I'm thinking Jean Grey. What are you guys talking about? I don't know. Joseph says one his real weakness is having the Olsen twins as siblings. Oh my gosh. That made me laugh. Oh my gosh. Where were we? Ed, and Eddie scared me as a child. I don't know what that is. Someone said that. I have no idea what that is. Have I tried a kneeling chair? Oh, that would never work for me and my knees. I have to try to keep my knees as straight as possible. If they're bent for very long, that starts causing pain. So that, just because of my issues, would not be a good fit for me. I know a lot of people do, but it's definitely, that's not going to work out for me. Have I gotten any strikes? No, I have not gotten any. It says it would seem bad business practice to not read the contract with YouTube. Well, the thing that's weird too is, like, you'll have a company, Game of Thrones did this. They were encouraging fan art, but then they had gone after some girl for copyright that had nothing to do with anything with them. So it's kind of like, wait, what? Like, what happened there? So it just made me paranoid. I actually pulled, because I have my 3 Jon Snow videos. I may have made those private. I still have the Patreon one. And then I had Daenerys. I had my favorite. Why can't I think of his name right now? But I had 3 characters, and then the Jon Snow filled 3 of those spaces. I pulled them, and I think I think Jon Snow might still be there, but I might have removed the term Jon Snow in it, because I'm like, that could, if I got hit with all of those, it's just not worth the risk. I pulled down, I had some Marvel characters, like I had done, what was it? It was in colored pencil and it wasn't even a good colored pencil. I was just starting to mess around with colored pencil portraits, and I used polychromos, which without Karen Dosh wasn't my best work. That one didn't, I pulled that. I pulled some of the stuff where I think I had a Will Smith portrait. I pulled that. I just removed them because I'm like, I'm not worth the chance of getting in trouble. Have I found artwork which was stolen from your design? Oh, yes. So I have people that will cross the line into, you're actually using my design with like 3 changes. That's still my work with 3 changes. So that's happened, but it's like, whatever. Then I had a lady. So she breeds Papillons up in the Northwest, and she's a member, I think she was at the time the secretary of the Papillon Club in that area. And what people didn't realize is I show dogs. Like, that is why my purebred dog portraits were accurate to the breed standard, because I understand breed standards. So moving on, unless it was a pet portrait where that would be a little bit different. But like when I do Italian Greyhound stuff, my Chinese crested, these were all show dogs that I had done. This woman had taken, I found out from people who were at the dog shows in that area. So because I showed my dogs, I knew a lot of people, all the Italian Greyhound people in this country. I pretty much, knew most of the breeders. So, or was in loose contact with, I should say. Well, they started contacting me saying, hey, up here in the Northwest, we have a lady who is selling your work on pillows and decorative stuff. She just started doing it. So I contacted her, and they took pictures for me so I could contact her. And I was like, yeah, you can't do that. And I sent her the cease and desist letter, and she was all freaked. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She claimed her son had bought a disc from somebody with royalty-free artwork that she could then sell at her booth. It's all right. I need the name. Where did he buy this? Because I did a full Google, and I'm good with Google. I did a search, and I could not find where she bought a disc with any of that. She could not provide that information. Oh, you know how sons are. They don't always get back to you. Yeah, BS. Either your son has a habit of lying and scamming people, or you are the liar and scammer. Like, you could tell there was some I know what's going on here. So yeah, and then she was like, well, can I work with you on giving you a commission for whatever, blah, 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 if I can keep using your stuff? I said, yeah, sure, as soon as you provide me the information of where that disc came from. Like, there's no name on this supposed disc, and they had badly photoshopped out, like, you could tell they photoshopped out my watermark, because it was a big watermark. So yeah, she was one, and I've had several companies so on Facebook, watch what you buy from ads on Facebook, because they are very, very often scams. See if you can find that same product over on Amazon or somewhere else that you can trust the return policy a little bit more. But anyways, they're not always scams on Facebook, but often enough, you want to be aware of this. So there was a company that was selling quilts with my artwork on it, but that no one would actually get the quilt. Like, it was just a scam. They would just take the money and run. So yeah, I had that happen too. Put a watermark on everything. At least make it hard for the scammers to steal your stuff. Let's see. Have I ever considered selling my art as a library for colorists to color? I've thought about making coloring books, and it's just like, I just never got that far. I think it'd be fun. And it wouldn't be that hard to do, because I just need to make line art of my work. So it would be a cool thing. I do like the idea. It's just, when am I going to have time type thing. Where are we? Zika said, how did it make you feel when you first realized you had such a global reach with your lessons? Do you think back to when you had in-person classes and wonder how did you end up here? All the time. Like, I just had a memory come up on Facebook, I think yesterday, of when my channel hit 500 subscribers. And I was so excited then. Like, it's never stopped being kind of amazing to have that level, to be able to reach that many artists and help that many artists. And I get so many like emails, the kind words and I still need to respond to people on, but it's just like, wow, I have the best job. Yeah, no, it's always a bit surreal, and it's definitely amazing. But yes, I always wonder, like, I can't believe yes. Have I ever, okay, got that one. Simon said, have you tried drawing someone random and make that person part of the Game of Thrones universe or the Harry Potter universe? Are you interested in character design? Not at all. I never really like, that's not something that ever really interested in me. I mean, it's cool when other people do it. It's just not something that was ever my thing. Hi, Juan. Thank you. Ali said, would you have loved if Derwent changed the formula of the color soft similar to Color Flow? Dreams. Yes. I would love that so much. Let's see. If they made it, though, more light fast, too, because the Chromasoft aren't even very light fast. Like, they're very hit or miss on light fast qualities there. So it's not even a just that. I want light fast and the Chroma Flow formula, because my gosh, those pencils are amazing to work with. I'm just burnishing. I'm pushing hard. This, I think, might be easier on this paper just because they're skinny. Well, just burnish. So what burnishing is, if you're unfamiliar with that, I'm pushing pretty hard with the pencil. And so I'm jamming the pencil into the tooth of the paper, and I get that smooth, painterly like blending. The thing is, anywhere where I burnish, I'm not going to get many layers back on top of that. So if you burnish, you need to be pretty certain that's about your final layer. Just know that. Can you show how to properly blend with any colorless blender? Let's see. I think I've got the full blender bright. I don't love it though, the Caran d'Ache one. None of them work great with polychromos because polychromos just burnish on their own. But you just, let's see, this is an area. You just push with it. You just go back over it. The full blender bright, this is the Caran d'Ache's version. It looks foggy to me. Like, it doesn't come out perfectly clear. And as much as I hate to give Prismacolor credit, it is due. I do like Prismacolor. I think they have a good colorless blender. So you just go over the area you want to blend. I do not like Derwent's colorless blender. They had like a 2-pack. I never liked theirs. And then, of course, Faber-Castell, you just don't need it. But see how it just goes back over that? And then it's like wax, pretty much hard wax. So it's going to work better over your wax-based pencils than it is over the oil-based, but it does work, as you can see, because I used a lot of the what was it? Words are hard. Polychromos, so that it is blending over that pretty well too. But everywhere I'm doing this, I'm not going to get many more layers on top, so I better make sure that is where I want things to end, because that's about as far as it's going to go. Every once in a while I pull that out to try again, and I'm like, yeah, no, I still don't like it. Where were we? Okay, Paul said, Game of Thrones prequel is canceled. So funny, they must move on. Maybe they should finish the one they started properly. Let's see. Does the number of required solitary work hours ever make you lonely? No. Did you see yesterday's videos? I am surrounded by animals and plants. So, no, I've never... It's really preferred for me. I'm a bit of a boring person who likes to be alone in a room with art supplies. Let's see. 2610 says, thank you so much for the answer. Really appreciate it. Been asking this a lot, but never got it. But a lot of artists never responded. Well, I'm glad I could help. Caution Artist at Play said, I just hit 3,000 subscribers. Congratulations. And it really is super exciting. Every milestone is amazing, though. I can't even imagine 300,000 at this point. You know, and it's funny, when I started with YouTube, it was there weren't channels out there that told you, like, you've got video creators now that walks you through how to build a channel. That wasn't out there. There was one guy who kind of was giving tips, and he had 8,000 subscribers at the time. And then he just started making like bowling videos or something. Like, he stopped doing the art video, not art video, but the video edit tips. And I remember seeing his at 8,000 subscribers and thinking, oh my gosh, I can't imagine having that many. Like, that would never happen. So yeah, it's all, you're right, every milestone is amazing. What do you place your paper on when you draw? Do you use different surfaces to give you different blending? It's just an artboard, like your typical, like, it looks like a giant clipboard, but it's made out of like particle or pressed wood. That's all this is. I have some that are more solid wood. It doesn't really make a difference in the end result. And then it's sitting on my easel. Let's see. Susan said, Derwent blend. I find the Derwent blender to be foggy as well. Yeah, it was like foggy and dry, and just, I didn't like it. It was not for me. Does it give a blotchy texture? Yeah, a little bit. Well, okay, it depends on how thick your previous layers are. If your previous layers are not on there that thick, then it's going to be more blotchy. Here, mine were really thick, so it's not super blotchy. Hi, Arndell. Priya said, it's wonderful to see you thrive. I have realized my own potential and ability to learn and enjoy art watching you. Oh, that gives me goosebumps and makes me so happy. That's awesome. Yay. Let's see. Like, seriously, there are goosebumps all the way down to my elbows right now. Where are we? Am I looking to breed them? What were we talking about? Looking to breed? I'm not looking to breed anything except for fruit flies. I have to breed those for my frogs. I mean, my dart frogs will end up breeding. Inevitably. I'm not trying to make that happen, but I mean, it would, and I mean, they're like little rabbits. So that would happen, but it's not like something I'm striving for. But I'm not sure which animals you were talking about. Like dogs, absolutely not. What other animals? Birds, no. We used to, grew up with that. Don't want to go back to hand raising baby birds. I mean, it was fun, but I don't want, very time consuming. Hi, Rada from Rome. I apologize if I just butchered your name, because that's pretty much what I do, unfortunately. Let's see. Priya said, you're surrounded by beautiful plants and fur babies. People are not as much fun. Yep, I so agree. Your rounds and art room tour is almost a therapeutic session for some of us. Oh, Paul said, I know I used to love Corpse Husband channel because of the horror stories. Now he changed his content and I unsubscribed. Ooh. Yeah, it gets weird. You always have to watch when you change. Like, okay, so some people will make a channel and they'll sell it to somebody else because they've got a lot of subscribers. It won't work because when that channel just changed, it's not what those people subscribe for. They're just gonna, like, you're not gonna get any views. It just doesn't work. So in changing content like that, it doesn't usually end well. I mean, you will have to start over with building a new following is what really happens. Do I offer outlines with my classes? No. And I'm glad that you brought it up, and I think that this is an important reason. So the line art, I'm trying to think of some of the terms people use for this. Line art was one of them. God, there's another term that is a weird term that people use for the line art. No, drawables. Is that it? Traceables. That's the word I hear all the time. I don't know where that came from. No, this is why. I am all for you tracing your reference photo to get things accurate and to start helping you to draw more accurately when you do freehand stuff on your own, but not my line art. There's a line I can cross where I am no longer helping you and I am nothing but a crutch, and I don't want to be that crutch for you. I want you to trace the original drawing, not my drawing. So I've been teaching for over 20 years. So what did I start? 98, 99? Right around there. I think 99 is when I started teaching. And I have seen students improve leaps and bounds by tracing work. And what I would have a student do, trace it 10 times, freehand it. Trace it sometimes, freehand it. Your freehanding is going to improve much faster when you're forcing your brain to draw things accurately and really see what's there versus what your brain thinks is there. Because what happens is your brain tries to override it, go, I know what a rose looks like. We didn't even look at that photo. But when you trace it, it forces you to notice things you didn't notice before. So it's a really good way to improve your freehanding skill. The goal is not to forever have to trace. Now, I will trace things to save time, but I can freehand it just fine too. It just takes longer. I'm limited on time, so I'm going to do what I need to do to save time. If you trace what I traced, all that lesson of learning to notice things you didn't previously notice, out the window. You're not improving your drawing skills. I want to help you improve. And when you trace someone else's tracing, that is doing the opposite. I may as well tell you every single color to use too, so you never learn to. I mean, the good thing is I would keep you forever a beginner, so you'll always want to take my classes because you'll never feel comfortable enough to draw on your own. So, I mean, I guess business-wise, maybe I should be doing that. But I feel like I'm kind of screwing you over as a student by being such a crutch that you don't progress. And I want you guys to progress. That is my goal in teaching. So, yeah, I mean, every once in a while you cross your mind thinking, people want the line art, maybe I should just give it to them. But it's like, no, because I know that's not helping them. So yeah, that is why I do not provide that for you. I want you trace, that's fine. Trace the photo. That is where you're going to learn because you're noticing things. And then here's the other thing. There are going to be times where you realize, oh, this is too many lines and it's confusing. I wish I hadn't traced that many lines. You're not going to know that unless you traced it. You may want more lines and more detail in your work. I like less. Or maybe the reverse. Maybe you like even less than what I like. You've got to figure that out on your own. And when I'm drawing everything for you, do you want me to paint it for you too? Because at some point, it's no longer yours. It's mine, you know? So that is why, and I know I sound like I'm ranting and telling you off, and I don't mean to come across that way. I just get, it's because I'm kind of passionate about it, because it comes out all the, I'm asked multiple times a week from students for that, and I get why you want it, and I understand why a teacher would provide that, because students ask for it. But the problem is, I feel dirty doing that, because I've been teaching for so long, and I know that is not, it's not my teaching method, and I know it's not, well, we'll just leave it with it's not my teaching method. Let's see. Would you color illustrations made by some other artist? I have zero reason to do that. I have, I don't have any, I don't see any benefit in me doing that. I mean, coloring is fun in coloring books, but I really don't have any reason to do it. Paul said, I mean, I could imagine you suddenly changing your content to violin lessons, and I never subscribed to music lessons. Exactly. And that's exactly it. It's not that the new content couldn't be good. It's just not what you're here for. So I would be better off to make a new channel with the new content. Would make more, that would make more sense. Although I've been doing more of the vlogs, like here's my life, and you don't necessarily care about that. So, maybe I'm violating my own rules there. Jason said, I stopped following someone when the whole problem started last year. I'm not here to follow people's politics. I'm here to learn and hang out. Yeah, see, that's the same thing. I've unfollowed so many people because they turned it into a political thing. And it's like I have people who I trust their political, analysis of different situations and getting facts. I have people I go to for that. I don't want to get that from artists. I don't want to get it from musicians like that. You're not who I want to go to for that information. So when people I have unfollowed a lot of artists because, and even if I agree with the artist, it doesn't matter. I don't want to see your politics. I just don't, that's not what I'm following you for. So yeah, I like to compartmental, I can't say that word. Compartmentalize. Wow, I had no idea I couldn't say that word. But I like to have my little boxes for things I go to for different things, and yeah. Anyway, Simon said, I never had to trace. I always found it easier not to trace. Proportions come easy to me. Perfect. That is, yeah, tracing is something everyone needs to do. It's just one more tool that some people find useful, some do not. Let's see. Melinda said, I'm here because of you and what you offer. It's both content and the way you present it. Your honesty, knowledge, and humor. If you were not here, I would not be. Aw, thank you. Bob said, I've nearly finished making my website for my art, and I feel I've taken the next step in my art journey. That is awesome. Good for you. Yay. Claudia said, I don't understand underpaintings. Are they necessary, as necessary as people say? It's just a method. You don't have to. It's like just blocking in your base layers. It's not like every painting has to have that. It really depends on what it is that you're trying to accomplish there. Are they necessary? Nothing is necessary. It depends on like what your goals are on that painting. The underpainting for me is just blocking things in, and it just makes it easier going forward. And I build in multiple layers to build that depth, but that's not the only method to do it. So nothing is necessary, I guess. Compartmentalize. I feel like I'm missing a syllable, and I know that that's kind of weirds me out because I had no idea I couldn't say that word. Like, I guess have I never tried to say that word? I don't know. I read it all the time. Let's see. Gail said, I really appreciate the amount of content you put out. It's frustrating to find an artist you like and they rarely post anything. Thank you for all you do. Oh, thank you. Joseph said, I always have a problem with I edited it. Yeah. Anything with edited it. Yes, I know. I see what you mean with that. Yes. That's a tongue twister. Try saying it 5 times. God, I couldn't even say it once. I don't think I need to embarrass myself further than that. I think I took that one far enough. Bob said, I use what you said previously about websites, like not having a million bloody buttons to click on just to see the art. Good for you. You know, the more buttons you have, the higher your abandonment rate is going to be. Don't give people too many options. Like the website that, it's Friday. They might have new stuff today. But the website I go to, one of them I go to for plants. God, my addiction needs to stop. It is like, I just got enough plants, Lisa. You don't need any more plants. Like I don't even think I have anything major on my wish list that's in my price budget that I would be buying right now. So I don't know why I'm like, new plant day. Friday, sometimes the one website I get from has new stuff. But anyway, their website, they have an option where you can just see everything available. And it's like, yes, please put just everything. I don't want to have to go aeroid or succulent, this type, that type. They've got a list of 20 different types. I don't want to click on that. I want to see everything you've got and let me choose from that. And that really is going to be the same with your art too. On your websites. Let's see. Someone said, buy the open stock Holbein color pencil soft white. You can get pure white with that pencil over any color. Interesting. I may do that. Teresa said, Lisa, just divide the word into 2. I was struggling with you on the word until I divided it into 2. Compartmentalize. Oh, that worked. Compartmentalize. I got it. Thank you. Oh, it is easy now. Compartmentalize. I mean, I've got a weird pause there, but whatever. It's better. Thank you. Let's see. Mel said, I have 2 other Patreon classes I signed up for last year, and the outlines have helped me with watercolors that I can paint just fine, but drawing is kind of off. Try tracing, I'm not judging other teachers for teaching that way. We all have our different methods of teaching, but try tracing the original photo. That is going to help your drawing to be better. Like, I have nothing against tracing. That is a great method. Trace the photo, not my line art. Like it makes a difference in how much your freehanding skills are going to improve when you start tracing things. Because when you get your own photograph, you need to know how to trace your own photograph, because that teacher's probably not going to give you a line art of that. Trace your own photograph so you need to like take off those training wheels. Let's see. Where were we? Billy said, I hear a background noise. Is that the tree frog? Yep. Not the tree frogs. They're the dart frogs. Is probably, I start not noticing it, and he's been going off like I renamed him Casanova because he's calling the ladies all the time. It used to be Benedict. He's now Casanova. And he is a chirper like that. Yes, you've probably been hearing him. Was that what it was? That's, yes. Let's see. Say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That one I can do because, like, as a kid, we all ran around saying that because it was fun because it was in the movie. Mel said, I was able to draw pretty well back in high school, but 15 years of not drawing set me back, so it was a bit easier to just than to just worry about bad drawing skills. And see, that's the thing. Tracing is fine. That will improve your drawing skills. Trace the drawing, not the line art. Does that make sense? Like, you will learn so much faster to get back to drawing, and it'll help your painting too, because you're going to be noticing things that you just did not notice when you just glanced at it. And even the same thing with the line art, it's just not going to give that to you. Trace the drawing, or trace the photograph, not the line art. I mean, as beginners, do what you want to do. Whatever is fun to you, that matters most. So it's not like I can say, this is always wrong. It's wrong for me to teach that way because what I've experienced and what helps a student to learn more. There is a line that I learned that early on that you can cross where that student's not progressing because you're doing too much for them, and that was one of them. Come apartmental. You just made that way harder, Joseph. No. See, now, compartmentalize. Compartmental. Don't mess with me now. Let's see. Mel said, I really want to sign up for Patreon. Just worry my drawing skills will suck. Trace the photo. That's my whole point. Trace the photo. It's going to help you so much. And what I recommend students, like if you're looking to improve your drawing skills, if that's what matters, if you want to get to where you're freehanding, trace something a bunch of times and then freehand it, and then trace it and then freehand. Your freehanding will improve faster that way, I found, than someone who just freehands the same thing over and over again. So I have nothing. I trace this. I traced most of my stuff is because just to save time. Sometimes I freehand. Sometimes it depends on what mood I'm in, or if I just in the mood to sketch. But so I'm not saying don't trace. I'm saying trace the photo. That is what you want to trace, not somebody else's line drawing. Let's see. Yeah, Phyllis even knew you were going to confuse me, and oh, did he? Let's see. Where are we? Susan said, I use drawing or sketching paper for practice the tracing before I do the good drawing on good paper. Wise. Tracing is the best method to improve your drawing skills. That is what I have found. How about refrigerator? Yeah, that one I have no problem with. Like, it's weird where you'll randomly have a word that your brain is like, I'm out. Phil said, I think I'm still, or Mel, sorry, said, I mixed up Mel and Phillips and just got Phil. Mel said, I think I am still going to sign up. I have all the pencils I need. I just want to stop worrying so much. I adore your work. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. And my stuff, I mean, I want you to take my techniques and apply it to anything. So you don't even have to draw the same drawing as me. See how I'm layering that and apply it to yours. I think it's just really helpful all around. Nick, you're just separating it into too many for me. The two words. I got the two words. You guys aren't helping. You're making it worse. So yeah, it turns out, because these are smaller, I think that OMS would have been a little bit more of a challenge. What's the dry time? So we'll go through. I was hoping to get to the bubbles today, but I guess we'll do those more next week because I really did talk a lot on this artist hangout. Twisted up branches in here. Try to make them get it connect and make some sense. I don't even know what some of these, you're going to connect up here because you're doing something weird. We'll make you all twisty. Let's see. Wicked Illusion Art said, English is easy. Separating mile-long German words to pronounce and translate is fun. Let's see. Leisha said, let's try a really hard one. Quidonkadonk. She just wrote quidonkadonk. Danetti said, you're an amazing artist. Oh, thank you. Have you ever done a scribble art drawing? Today I saw a demo and tried it. It certainly is different. No, I've not done that. I think I've seen that on Facebook, like the quick, but I've not done anything like that. Someone said, important to raise awareness. The Luminance portrait set can't be used for dark skin. I can't even draw my family members with that set. Oh, that's not good. CP Brown should be held liable for this. Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, it's always weird. See, and I've seen this before where they come out with skin sets and it's like, I don't mix skin that way. I use the same colors. Like when I oil paint, the same colors I'm going to use for someone with really, really dark skin, they're the same colors I'm going to use for someone with light skin. The difference is the amount, the values. That's it. The color itself for me is going to be the same. So, but if they don't have enough, colored pencil is going to be different, because if there weren't enough darks, like with that, most, like, do I even have, oh, I don't have it in my hand right now. Caput Mortem is like my go-to. I don't care what shade of skin your tone is, I'm going to use it on your portrait. Like, that is a go-to for me. Light skin, dark skin, anything in between, that pencil's probably getting used. But if you focus on values, not so much the actual skin color, that can help. But yeah, that's interesting though to hear that they don't have, I haven't looked at them, so I don't know what the selection is or if it's something that I feel like I could work with. But even like, I half the time when I mix skin tones, I'm mixing a combination of red, green, and red, green, yellow, and white are how I mix most skin tones. Because you're getting that, you mix those and you get this kind of natural tone, and it just depends on how much white I add to what that person is going to be. I remember my first attempt at painting, I was just getting started with portraits, and I tried to paint somebody with really, really dark skin, and I used brown paint. He came out way darker than I intended. Like, it was not the right choice. So red, green, yellow, and white, I've had a better, like, I get more natural tones and just adjust my values from there. I've had really good results with. Oh, thank you, Phyllis said, for Tylenol for the pronunciation headache you're going to have. Oh, thank you for the super chat. You're awesome. Oh my gosh, you're funny. Thank you. Jason said, have you tried medical Latin Greek words for bones or other sections of the body? No, but I have been working on pronouncing scientific names or less common names for a lot of plants, like Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. That one took me a while to learn how to say comfortably. And now anytime I say it, my husband says, bless you. So yeah, there are a few of them, like Aglaonema, trying to remember the proper terms for them, and it makes it easier when you do searches so you can find the plant you want. But yeah, there are a few of those that some of them I still only really know the common name, but it's easier to find the real if you use the scientific on some of these. So yeah. Yeah, I'm good with ibuprofen because it is my best friend. Like, that is the only painkiller I normally will take, and we are close buddies. Like, we're getting married. That's what I use a lot for my arthritis or, you know, whatever. Let's see. Where were we? Thea said, I agree with you about tracing and progressing as an artist. You have to go through all the stages of being an artist to grow. Love the painting, hating it, repeat, relax, enjoy. Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Lucas said, would you consider showing us how you combine several reference photos in one painting or drawing? Well, I actually did that 2 weeks ago I was working on the flamingo one. That one, I do it in Photoshop to do that. And so I do have, if you go back and watch that live stream, that one will give you, what did I call it? Like something about how I designed my artwork in Photoshop or something like that. I've done a couple of videos like that. But yeah, and I'm thinking maybe when we get to the next one, maybe we'll design that together on a Friday. Because I kind of like this Friday doing a collage, an ongoing collage thing. So maybe we'll design the next one together for that. You guys can give me ideas of what you'd like to see. Where are we? Oh, thank you, Shortney, for the super chat. It said Dono Train for Elise. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm going to cry. The Little Woman said, a little bit off topic, but do you own a bird? Yes. Well, Chicken is mine. He's at the beginning of my videos. He's supposed to be my husband's, but Chicken decided he was mine. Well, no, Chicken decided my feet were his. I guess that's a better way to put it. So Chicken is our cockatiel, or I guess my cockatiel now. He spends most of his time with my husband, though, because my husband has the time for the birds that I don't. My husband has him. He has a parrotlet, Nugget, and he has his Indian ringneck, Sushi. Let's see. Why do you say clear to get the dogs to eating? So that's just a command that I use to release them from their hold of stay. So I've trained them. They are supposed to, if you saw yesterday's video, you'll know what he's talking about. But they lay on their beds. What was happening was, if you put down the bowl, they were too excited and they were just mowing over me, like trying to get to that food, lose it. Like it wasn't safe for anyone involved. And it was like, okay, you dogs are frustrating me. So instead of being, and this is typically what will lead me to training a dog new thing, when you start annoying me, we need to teach you how to not annoy me anymore and give better behavior. So what I taught them to do is they lay in their bed and they have to wait until I give them the command to get up, and then they run to their bowls. But it was, I mean, they would run so fast and they're slamming into me. This gives me a chance to step away, not be in the line of fire as they rush to their dishes. They know which ones are theirs. But clear is just the command that releases them. So I also use this command. They were getting really bad, Gibson especially, trying to force his way out the front door when boxes were delivered. If someone knocks on the door or whatever and I go to get the box, he wants to see. He wants to get to that box. And he was trying to force his way out. So now, this is what we're currently working on. They are to lay down in their bed in the office and wait until I give them the clear command, and that lets them know they can get up now and come examine the box once I've brought it in the house. But it's safer for them because I don't want them running outside. You do not want a greyhound off leash outside. You are not getting that dog back. So this is, that's just the command that I use it's their release command. So when I've given them the command to stay, whether it be in the bed, like when I'm getting a box in at the front door, or at the other end of the house when I'm feeding them, or even if I make them lay outside, like they get raw duck necks. Although they've been out of duck necks, so they actually each got half a chicken carcass recently. It's good for their teeth. So Wade, Gibson, I can just hand it to him and he's fine. Wade gets way too excited and he's like shoving into me, ramming his head into me. He's just Wade is very pushy. So with Wade, same thing in the grass. I can toss his whatever bones he's going to chew on in the grass and make him lay and wait until I give him the command that lets him go for it. And it lets me step out of the way into safety. Let's see. Try alla prima with oils next live stream, please. I don't like painting that way. It's just not my favorite. I like doing layers. Do you know, Jason said, you do know that none of the animals are yours. They own you. Oh yes, they make sure I know that. Like a detonation train. Thank you, Shorty. Thea said, I agree with all you say. Art progress includes loving the painting, hating it, crying a bit, enjoying it, relax guys, and keep at it, one painting at a time. Absolutely. Jason said, great job at training the dogs, Elisa. Thank you. I just like training animals, so it's like I said, if I hadn't done art, that would have been what I went into. It was my initial plan. Nick said, mine isn't allowed in the kitchen when I'm getting food ready. He has his toenails on the tiles between the two rooms waiting. Yeah, mine aren't allowed either, but so sighthounds are really stubborn, and they know, they push their limit all the time. So yeah, they're not allowed in the kitchen either. They push it occasionally, or they're not allowed to beg. Like if I'm eating, you better not be near me. We're not doing the begging thing because they're big enough to actually take it from me. And Gibson's tried. Like, oh, I'm just going to sit here with my head on your leg and might just reach up really quick and take that sandwich. So they're not allowed to be anywhere near me. Like they have their beds, they have to lay down and wait. And then if they're good, I'll sometimes give them a treat after. But yeah, they are definitely stubborn, that's for sure. Let's see, we've got Molly said, thanks for being you. Besides Pixabay, what is the other reference photo website? Unsplash, Unsplash, so unsplash.com. And then the paid one that I use is wildlifereferencephotos.com. It's really long. Okay. Joseph said, I train my cats to ignore me at all times. I've done a great job at it. So, okay, we are done for the day. We are now after 6. Sorry I didn't get to bubbles. I'm probably going to finish burnishing this like off camera because there's just barely any to go. It's the same thing we've already done. But that way we can start bubbles next week, finish bubbles, do our highlights, and finish this next week. And then the plan will be the following week, we'll design something together for the next collage. So, do your dogs judge you too? Oh, definitely. Yeah, Gibson's quite judgy. Gibson will come up, so his thing, it's like he knows it's warm enough out now that we should be back to going on walks. And he comes and he'll just stare and stare and stare. And I'm like, I know you're telepathically trying to tell me what you want me to do, but he's trying to teach me. And I'm pretty sure I know what he's trying to, it's just funny. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on, let's see, I should have an edited video for you on Tuesday. Patreon's next video should be late Tuesday, early Wednesday, then the live stream Wednesday. I don't know what we're doing next Wednesday. I'm behind on smart art boxes. Maybe we'll do one of those. So anyway, thank you guys. I will see you next week. Oh, thank you to Joseph and my brain just shut down on your name, Nick. I don't know how I forget your name half the time. Like you have my brother's name. So anyway, thank you. Thank them. They have been keeping spam and crap out of the chat. So give them a big thank you. They've got art channels here on YouTube. Nick's been live streaming regularly, so you definitely want to check out his channel. And it's a lot of us same people there. So we get to just go chat on his channel instead. It's fun. He does that Mondays. He usually does it when I'm trying to edit videos on Patreon, which is usually, I think, Monday. So anyway, thank you guys. I will talk to you next week. Bye. I don't even know where there's the button. Bye again.